Listen, this whole politic thing has really been bothering me, and I saw something that was tremendously profound. I need to share it. We had to struggle with the old enemies of peace: business and financial monopoly, speculation, reckless banking, class antagonism, sectionalism, war profiteering. They had all begun to consider the United States government as a mere appendage to their own affairs. We now know that government by organized money is just as dangerous as government by organized mob. That was Franklin Delano Roosevelt back in the 30s. How is that not where we are today? How is what Roosevelt said back in the 30s about the financial monopoly, the speculation, the reckless banking, the class antagonism, the war profiteering? But isn't that where we are right now? Why are you not like as angry and as upset as I am about this? Why are you disengaging from our democracy, from your duties and responsibilities as a citizen? Don't talk about politics. We can't talk about politics. If we don't develop the coping skills, the communication skills, the conflict resolution skills, the courage, the commitment, the character, the compassion to have these damn conversations, we are already fully into oligarchy right now and plutocracy right now because there's way too much money in our elected process, in our democracy. Way too much money and not enough citizen engagement. We have more money involved than you do citizens involved. Half of the country didn't even vote in the last federal election. More than half don't vote in local and state elections and midterm elections. So we're not even participating in our democracy. We're not participating. Look, politics is not our problem. If we really embrace the fact that we are a democratic republic, we are supposed to have conversations about politics. We are the government. How do we have a government where we can't even have a conversation about the best way to solve problems in our country? How is it that we have a government that we have a citizenry that has such poor coping skills that you can't even have a conversation about healthcare, about taxes, about education, about immigration, the Constitution, anything? This is what we have become. I shut down my original Facebook page because it had become so toxic. You go back and look at any of the posts on my original Facebook page, any of the political thing, anything that I posted. Look, that page is a genuine representation of who I am as a human being, as a citizen, as a neighbor, as an uncle, as a cousin, as a husband, as a co-worker, as a friend. That page is who I am. And I'm not ashamed of anything I put on that page. I'm ashamed that I shut the page down. That's what I'm ashamed of. I'm ashamed that I let, I don't know, peer pressure. I let other people's inability to have a salient, respectful conversation make me choose to shut that page down. We don't need less political conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We need more conversation. And the conversation, we need to develop the 7 C's so we can move through the challenges that face us all. So look, partisanship is not our problem. It's our inability to be decent to each other when we talk about these issues. It's our inability to communicate and effectively resolve conflict. I'm going to use my platform. I'm going to use these platforms as to my best ability to treat people the way I want to be treated, first and foremost. That's just where I start. I'm going to treat you the way I want to be treated. We can vigorously disagree on taxes, on policy, on military spend, on war profiteering. We can disagree, but doing nothing is not an option for me. I'm not going to sit back and be silent in the face of all of this foolishness that's happening in our families, that's happening in our neighborhoods, that's happening in our cities, in our state, at our federal level, on the planet, globally with climate change and all of the issues that are going on with the water shortages and the crises around the world. Look, my circle of concern is very, very big. obviously. We can do something about it. The whole notion that you can't do anything and that it is what it is, that's a lie, man. That is the biggest lie that people have bought into uh, in my lifetime. Man, don't talk to me about it. It is what it is. You're going to catch a mouthful if you tell me that foolishness. Doing nothing is not an option. I'm going to do something. And this is something that I can do. So, look, I'm not going to be silent, right, in the face of all of this stuff that we're seeing in our society today, not just in our politics, but in our families, in our personal relationships, with our friends. I'm not going to do it. Silence is consent. And doing nothing is not an option for me. So, listen, get at me. I need help. If if you're concerned about what I'm concerned about, you got to do something about it. I'm the fruit of somebody's work. I'm standing on the shoulders of people who walked and protested, who got spat on. I got relatives who are alive who can tell me that history, how they sat and went to jail and did sit-ins and marched in East Texas. This is real for me. This is personal for me. So doing nothing is not an option, and silence is consent.